Hello everybody, welcome back. So let's have a look at some of these coins. So I'm not your financial advisor and it's not financial advice. We're just going to have a look at some of these charts together and we'll start with Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin's been making big moves again, recovering from its pullbacks that it's been having over this last quite a while now, over a month now. So yeah, it's doing quite well. It's bounced back up and it's bounced over and broken through overnight the 11,800 mark, pushing its way up to 12,300, which is quite a big move. We're having a big rejection at this point now from that price, coming back down to test what now would look like a support area of 11,800. If this area holds, then we can start to talk about moving back up again towards 13,000 and beyond. If it breaks, it might not be such a big deal, but if it does break, we're back down to around 11,200 over a short sort of period of time, maybe a day or two. The area here, this blue box, is between 11,600 and 11,800. This is where it's sort of rested for a relatively decent period of time, suggesting that this area is a decent support and probably will hold. It's more likely to hold, at least in this short term now, than to break. So I would be quite surprised if it does break here. What we did see, however, is a big wick to both sides. So it's a bit of a battle between the bulls and the bears to take control of this area, because both sides know that it's relatively important for it to start making moves above this area now and stay above 11,800 if it wants to climb back up to 13,000 and beyond. At the moment, we have to wait and see how it works out. Like I say, the battle is going on at the moment. I would probably say that there is more opportunity to the up than there is to the down. We have broken above this area. We need to wait to see how this candle closes and how the next one is formed. But at the moment there's a strong rejection from 12,300, a strong support from around 11,800. So yeah, a difficult one to really pinpoint. So we'll have to wait and see. But the good thing is, moving averages are all facing up. We've made decent recovery now over the last few days. We've continued to make these recoveries, and we've got a golden cross playing out as well. So everything does look quite positive for it, even if it does come back down to test this area and maybe collapse back down to 11,200. It's still pretty positive because that golden cross is in play. These moves are big moves. So to have a pullback as a result of these big moves, it's not that bad. It's not too bad, really, to be honest with you. So if it does happen, fair play to it. The indicators are all suggesting that it's going to continue up to 13,000 over the next weeks. So we'll see how that one goes. Moving on to our other coins then. So yesterday we had a bit of a beast of a move from MATIC and won, and CELR actually benefited from this too. Reason being, this was based on Coinbase's announcement that they're considering listing MATIC and One and a few other coins to their sort of exchange, really. So that's a good thing for a coin like MATIC at this point in time. It's such an early coin, such a small project, really, with big potential. So to be listed on Coinbase at this stage would be an enormous opportunity for the token, and considering where we've come all the way down from, right up here. We were pushing towards 600 satoshis at one point. We came all the way down here to as low as 80 satoshis. So an enormous fallback from our all-time highs. This whole chart here is really. It's a very difficult one to map out, and it has been for quite some time now. This whole area here, this was the biggest move I've ever seen from any IEO, and I've never seen anything quite like it before. And a lot of this, probably from this area onwards, was FOMO. So you could really say that I would say from around this area here, just from around this area here, or just below, that is our sort of preferred target, okay, to get above again. So we'll call it 275 Satoshi area. If we can get to that area again, then we could be looking at some more sustained, continued growth. This is kind of there, and this area here, just above here, these two areas here, I would say, are key areas. So 175 satoshis and 275 satoshis. If we can get to these areas again, then they're definitely good key areas to break. If we can break above that and stay above it, there's a very good chance that over time we could get here and above there again. At the moment, this is all driven by the fact that it was an announcement. There's no guarantee that MATIC will be listed, although considering MATIC has got it's got members of its team working with who have worked and I think still actually do work with Coinbase, the odds are in its favour, and they might be pushing hard because they know that US customers aren't able to purchase and trade through Binance in the next couple of months. That won't be an opportunity for them. So anyone who's holding on to the MATIC might want another place to put it, and especially an opportunity to be able to sell it. So for it to go onto Coinbase would be an enormous opportunity, and almost certainly will help its price grow. It would probably be, in fact, I believe it would be the cheapest coin to be listed on Coinbase, actually. Which would attract probably a lot of new buyers, and I would expect that would probably make the price go pretty high, to be honest with you. It's had big moves in the past. It's a very attractive token to hold, so if it does get moved onto Coinbase, then that would be pretty impressive. So let's have a look on the tether value. Okay, see where we're going from here. We're going to be coming all the way down. We've plateaued. We were making brand new lows until yesterday. Now, because this is just an announcement, this could quite easily retrace. There's no reason why this move will continue off the back of the fact that it was simply just an announcement that caused this move. So the problem being now is that we've got to see how it works out over the next coming days. Indicators would suggest that it's still got movement to go, but what we're seeing here is we're seeing a rejection here on the 200 EMA, quite a steep rejection on the 200 EMA, and this 1.4 cent area had been previously a bit of a decent support for it, actually. So for it to break above there and stay above there, that would be pretty good, but at the moment we're being rejected from there. The good signs is that because of such a big strong move like this, indicators are starting to move up. If we can get this green to continue up, and we need continued movement now, or at least to stay around this area, but if we can start to move up and to continue to move up, or at least stay static in around this 1.3 to 1.4 cent mark, there's a good chance that over the next week this green 50 EMA will cross above this here, this 200 EMA, signifying a golden cross on the 4-hourly, which, depending on how steep it is and other indicators as well, could mean a true change in trend, and that's what we need in a coin like this. And this is what other alts are going to be doing at some point soon anyway, and this will signify the beginning of an alt season. And I'd probably say for a lot of those guys, we're going to have a look at Litecoin, which is a good indicator for these sort of moves, but in about 2 to maybe 3 weeks time, that sort of thing should be happening with the major alts anyway, the top 30 or more alts. That kind of move will happen, and then an alt season will probably begin around that time, and this is one of those indicators to suggest when that would happen, alongside Bitcoin dominance and altcoin dominance, the battle between the two. But with BTC, if we continue to make these moves up, or if we gradually step up, or even if we stay static around this area, there's a chance that this would happen for MATIC too, and that could signify a real change in trend. So we'll have a look at one now, because one was another one of these coins that was listed on the announcement, and it's done very well, and not as well as MATIC. We've had very steep and continued rejections here from the 200 EMA. So actually, even though it's a very good move from it, this to me looks as though it probably won't make any further moves from here, and that actually worries me a little, because they're both feeding on the same announcement, So this could be a precursor to what's likely to happen with MATIC. So we'll just have to wait and see, but these rejections are strong. There's 4 of them now, and even though this last wick here was slightly higher, it had made lower lows each time it was rejected, apart from this very last one, but that doesn't mean much to me right now. It's still very early on. This announcement was only less than 24 hours old. So, and we'll look at the Bitcoin pairing, and it's actually doing okay on this candle here, but Bitcoin is I believe currently falling now. Yeah, it is currently falling. So yeah, the differences are being shared between them. So good news for one, bad news for Bitcoin. Green candle for one on the Satoshi values. CELR didn't have anything to do with the announcement, but had a bit of a pump as just through association with those coins. So CELR and MATIC are partnered now, so they do share each other's sort of good news, which is something. But it had a pump, but it's nothing to write home about. We're currently at 78 satoshis. This hasn't changed a great deal for CELR. It looks like it wants to keep moving up a little bit, but the indicators all suggest more movement to the down for the time being, and we'll probably find these areas retrace and maybe even make newer lows over time. It does, though, in the short term for the rest of today, and maybe a little longer. It wants to keep moving up, or trying to move up. We look at the USD value. We have made a higher high, but again, this is based on sort of MATIC and one's news, so it's being carried on the shoulders of those guys, and this move is simply a move through association of other people's good news. So interesting, but yeah, it's just riding on the back of the other guy's news. Phantoms, we'll have a look at this. Not looking too good, obviously. When I say it's not looking too good, it's not complete. It's not absolutely weak. It's not terrible, for instance. It's not really bad. We're on the tether value here, and we have made these moves here, which actually does count for something in the market that we've been in right now. We've not completely retraced them. We're not making lower lows, so it's actually stronger than a lot of the IEOs that we've looked at anyway, in general. But as for any moves right now, probably looking like it wants to go sideways and continue sideways to probably a little further down, actually. I don't think this is going to make any moves up, currently speaking. Indicators suggest more movement to the down. We're underneath all the moving averages generally, and relatively strong rejections actually from the 50 EMA. So yeah, probably wants to move sideways a little bit, move to the down until the market in general picks up. And when we look at the Bitcoin pairing, it's just generally moving down, but that's because Bitcoin's been overperforming against all these coins. So this is what we expect to see from most coins, in fact, because Bitcoin has been the main mover these last few days. We'll look at Litecoin. So Litecoin's halving event took place yesterday. It would appear that a lot of that movement had already been priced in, because when we had that big move here, this is what we saw: a big move here, move up to the 50, rejection, and then back down again to where we started. Slightly disappointing, yeah. I mean, I've been holding this since it was a big dip. I bought a load around 79, so when I saw this take place and I saw this starting to form, I just sold off. So I'm not holding this on anymore. So I made a small profit, but I was really hoping he was going to do a little bit more than this. It's not worth me holding on to a coin like this when you see a wick like this begin to form, and then the continuation to a down. So I got out around here, and and we'll see how it goes. See if it makes newer lows, but it wants to come down. I would definitely say it wants to come down again, and it's going to continue to go down. I couldn't really say exactly where it's likely to fall to, but off the back of my off the top of my head, I'd probably say we could be looking to come back down to as low as 90 before, if that breaks, then back down to around 88, 87, 88 area. Anyway, I'm just going to leave it with you there. I've got a lot of things planned today, so I've got to move on. But thanks for watching. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate your subscribers, and obviously the donations mean a lot. And I hope you all have a lovely day, and take it easy.